Hello everybody! Welcome to my channel. This is the first episode of a new series that I'm calling Unsolved Mysteries. For each episode, I'll take a look at a cold case, missing persons case, or unsolved crime that has really stood the test of time, keeping viewers intrigued even decades later. Some will be famous cases that everyone knows about, while others will be lesser known but no less interesting. And some of these mysteries might just need your help solving them. And for our first ever episode, we be talking about This one specifically caught my interest, because it is one of those rare cases where the police were never even able to confirm that a murder took place in the first place. That's right, even the victim's family doesn't know if he died inside that room or not. So without further ado, let's talk about what happened in room 13. On December 6, 1974, a young man by the name of Danny, who was 21 years old, left his home in Bradford, England for the last time. Danny was living with his parents and two brothers in a modest semi-detached house. And while he was unemployed at the time, he was hoping to find work soon so he could move out and get his own place. He was also in a relationship with a woman named Denise, who would become a key witness in whatever happened next. Earlier that day, Danny had been drinking with a friend at a local pub, but they got into an argument around 4:30 p.m. and the friend left. Where Danny went after, this is unknown, but he was captured on CCTV footage walking down a street at 5:15 p.m. The footage shows him walking alone and he appears to be carrying a brown briefcase. What happened between 5:15 and 5:45 p.m. remains a mystery. But at around 5:45 p.m., Danny was seen on camera entering the Penning Hotel. The Penning Hotel was a budget hotel located in the city center. It was rather notorious for being frequented by businessmen looking for a place to crash during their stay in Bradford. There were 25 rooms in total, and guests would enter through the front door where they would be greeted by the receptionist, who was always on duty. At the time, the receptionist was a 38-year-old woman named Evelyn. She checked Danny in and gave him a key to room 30. But before we go any further, I want to ask you guys a question. You've probably heard about room 13 before. It is said to be an unlucky room, because there are a number of urban legends surrounding the number itself. Some say it's bad luck because when the elevator goes to the 13th floor, the button flashes twice. Others say that whenever someone stays in room 13, something bad happens to them. Well, there have been a lot of stories throughout history involving room 13. But today, I'm going to tell you the story behind one of the most famous rooms 13 of all. Danny paid for 2 nights at the hotel, and he was given a key for room 13. We do want to know exactly what happened next. But here's what we think. According to the manager of the hotel, there was supposed to be a connecting door between room 13 and room 12. But the night before, he had the connecting door locked off because someone had complained about noise coming from room 12. That means that the only way to get in and out of room 13 was through the front door. At 8:15 p.m., surveillance footage from the hotel shows Danny leaving his room and going downstairs. He was captured on camera walking past the reception desk and stepping outside. After this, he was never seen alive again. Now, despite the fact that Danny never checked out of his room and his key was still in his room when the police eventually opened it up, the hotel staff didn't realize he was missing until noon the following day when Denise came looking for him. When Denise arrived, she found the room completely empty, except for his briefcase, which was sitting on the chair. She waited around for a bit, but when Danny didn't show up, she went to the reception desk and asked them to check him out. They told her that he had already checked out that morning. She then called the police and reported him missing. As far as the police were concerned, the only person who saw Danny after he checked into the hotel was the receptionist, Evelyn. When the police interviewed her, she told them that she remembered checking a man in the night before, but she insisted that it wasn't Danny. She claimed that she remembered clearly because he had paid with a traveler's check and had to fill out a form. Danny's name was supposed to be on the form, but when the police checked the form, they found that the signature didn't match his and the name was spelled differently. Evelyn claimed that she recognized the man from somewhere, but when shown a lineup of men, she couldn't pick him out. There was also another strange detail. According to Evelyn, the man who signed the register the night before was traveling alone. But Danny's girlfriend, Denise, claimed that Danny had definitely been at the hotel with another man. In fact, when she went to the hotel that night to look for him, she had actually argued with a second man over Danny. She described this man as having a shaved head and being shorter than Danny. When the police searched room 30, they found nothing unusual other than a cigarette packet that matched the description of the ones Danny smoked. They asked the hotel staff if they knew anyone who fit the description of the man, but no one did. And the police never learned who he was. It should also be mentioned that the police never found Danny's body, nor did they ever find his clothing, his wallet, or his car. His disappearance would go on to become one of the biggest mysteries in Bradford's history. Over the years, there would be dozens of reported sightings of him, but none of them led anywhere. In 1976, a massive manhunt was launched in the area and hundreds of people were questioned. People reported seeing him all over the place. Witnesses claimed to see him in France, Australia, Ireland, and Scotland. One report even claimed that he was spotted hitchhiking along the side of a road, but every lead turned out to be a dead end. What made everything even more confusing was the fact that neither the police nor Danny's family had any idea what could have possibly happened to him. His family believed that he had simply run away, while the police believed that he had been murdered. The case went cold, and by the early 1980s, it was entirely forgotten. However, in 2015, West Yorkshire Police decided to reopen the case. They put together a team of experienced detectives and began re-interviewing people who had originally come forward in 1974. It seemed like they were going to finally solve this cold case, but they hit another roadblock. After speaking to the hotel manager, they discovered that the connecting door between room 13 and room 12 had never been locked in the first place. That meant that Danny could have easily exited through the connecting door, and that evidence of him even being there might have been cleaned up by whoever committed the crime. To make matters worse, the original police report stated that the connecting door had been locked, which made them believe that Danny had to have exited through the front door. And if he exited through the front door, then wouldn't he have been captured on camera? But unfortunately, that part of the security footage was wiped. If you've been watching this video, then you know that there's a lot of unanswered questions here.
I mean, why would the staff claim that Danny checked out when he didn't?
Why was there a second man in the room? And where is the CCTV footage? Unfortunately, we may never find out the answers to these questions, because the one person who could answer them is long dead. Evelyn passed away back in 1991, but not before she wrote a letter confessing that she lied about everything. In the letter, she admitted that she had let someone into the hotel the night before, but she claimed that they weren't the man Danny. She said that she let this other person into room 13, but she didn't know what happened to them afterwards. She confessed to covering up for them out of fear, but she never revealed who they were. And that's where the case stands today. It's still technically unsolved. And in a way, I think it might be one of the most frustrating cases for the police. How do you investigate something when you don't even know if it's a crime? Without Danny's body, the police can't prove that he was murdered, although they strongly suspect that he was. And without any suspects, they can't prove anything else either. Personally, I think there's a few possible scenarios here. Scenario 1, Danny went to the hotel that night and brought a second man with him. They both ended up committing a crime elsewhere and fled the scene, leaving Danny's briefcase behind. Scenario 2, Danny met someone in the hotel lobby who offered him money to let them stay in his room. Danny agreed, but the person killed him and stole his belongings. Or Scenario 3, Evelyn let someone else into Danny's room, but that person left once Danny came back and returned the favor. But honestly, I'd love to hear what you guys think happened. Let me know down in the comments below. And with that being said, I'll see you next time. Bye.